Whatever it is, what we want you to know this morning is, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of that toxic situation or whatever anyone says to you, or the fear that seems to be so big for you to overcome, stay positive. Go gradually. But slow, be intentionally slow and steady about certain things. And just don't strive to spend more. Money actually does a lot. Don't try to spend more than you have. When debts come knocking on the door, it tends to bring negativity, tends to bring fear, it tends to bring problems.
That's right.
So stay positive at all times. See you again tomorrow for Wednesday motivation, because it's going to be something else. I don't know what if he's going to be doing tomorrow, but it's going to be something else. And obviously, it's a learning period for all of us as we continue, with this second quarter of 2019. We run off on this quick break. When we come back, we're looking at your environment, and it's a collective responsibility. Please stay with us.
Woke up to an eerie morning, the children playing. No sounds of greetings, one neighbor to another. Oh, it's quiet and gloomy. Please don't live here no more. No more.
Can't believe how much we've hurt each other. Can't believe the damage we've done.
Brothers hurting brothers, neighbor harming neighbor.
Children grieving for their parents, hacked down before their time.
I can't go out, I don't know who to trust. Fear is just the other of the day.
Is this the way we want to live? With peace we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences, put an end to all the hate. With peace we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences, put an end to all the hate.
Oh, I know you were hurt, the blow you've been down, so yeah.
Cuts deep like a knife, but we mustn't pay back in kind.
Leave no room in your heart for vengeance and hatred, no, no. An eye for an eye, so leaves everyone blind.
Hey, we have our differences, we cannot change things making war.
Without peace, all dreams sound hard. Well, yeah.
Without peace, there's no room to build. So much work to be done.
To make Nigeria the country of our dreams.
With peace, with peace. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences.
I was just enjoying that music. All right, welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. We told you earlier on the side of the dial, we will be looking at our environment as a collective responsibility. Government, citizens, you and I have a lot of work to be done. The environment is an important issue, even when society is faced with economic crisis, with whatever it is that you go through, even when there are social problems, even when there is insurgency, even when there is banditry, even during flooding, even when you don't have money, your environment is still as important as it was when everything was fine. And it matters because the earth is only home that humans have, provides us with our food, provides us with our air, and provides us with our other needs. Our humanity's entire existence, the support system, depends on the well-being of all the species that lives here, and it is quite important for all of us to know what we need to do to ensure that our environment stays good, stays livable for all of us, so that we can live a healthy life. Of course, we'll be discussing this with a guest this morning, and the guest is in the studio right here by my left. We have Mr. Alex Akiwe.
Thank you very much for having me this
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Right, on the show this morning, we will be taking some messages, so if you want to contribute to this topic as we go on the show, the number to send your messages to, your text messages or your WhatsApp messages, is 09060005748. That's 09060005748. That's the number to send your messages to. All right, Alex, let's have it. You've been working on environmental issues for quite a while in Lagos. How would you say the Lagosians are fared so far?
Okay, fine. Let me look at it from your question, because I'm to generalize it now. I'm going to come in from a different angle actually, because we have different view and opinion about waste management in Lagos, which is as a result of the sudden arrival of the vision scape. I know vision scape is virtually on one side, Loma is coming back. All of those ones are other issues that actually giving way for people's view and perception about the issue of waste management in Lagos. But generally, from the angle where we are coming from, we've been working in Lagos as far back as 2010, and we've seen a lot of involvement, we've seen a lot of progress on the sudden issue of the vision scape. And compared to when we first started in 2010, I remember when we did our first cleanup activity in 2010, one major challenge we had then was trying to get volunteers to sign up to do something in the environment. So the guys we were talking with back then, the major challenge we were having with them was basically they were telling us, okay, fine, if I'm going to give you my time, how much are you going to pay me? You understand? People were actually looking out for me to volunteer to clean my environment. I need to be paid.
For my environment.
Exactly, but they feel maybe because they pay their tax, or because they have a government that should be there for them. They didn't see it as they have a personal commitment to their environment. And so that was one of the challenges we had back then in 2010 when we started working in Lagos State. And so it was tough for us to get volunteers. But looking at far back as last year, it's to a larger extent, we now have pool of volunteers. We will have a network where we have volunteers on our platform. But whenever I want to do an activity now, there are people that are willing to come out now. Nobody's asking for money. What that is telling us to an extent is the mindset have changed to an extent over time by virtue of continuous engagement of the people. We're not still there yet. We still hope that more people will still see the need why they should sign up and do something for the environment. Understand?
Now, by doing something for the environment, I'm looking more at what we need to do by ourselves. But by doing something for the environment, what exactly are you looking at? What exactly have you been involved in over time?
Okay, doing something for the environment has to start with your attitude, first of all. Now, number one, we discovered that most times this issue of attitude is where the cocoa is. That's the major challenge. People are not seeing the need why they should do something for the environment. If you can get them to understand why they should do something for the environment, then the doing will not be a challenge, right? Because the understanding is there. And that's why we do a lot of advocacy, do a lot of sensitization, do a lot of community involvement and engagement, so that people get to understand why they should do something for the environment. There's a project we're running on currently now, which is more like the latest project we started running from last year, and it has to do with Recycle Spay educational program. Why we came up with that idea is because we want to create a platform where people can do something for the environment. Now, the Recycle Spay is a model that actually creates a platform for parents to pay the school fees of their kids using PET bottles pure water sachets carton, not money. And that means to a large extent, if you want to pay the school fees of a child, you means you have to gather enough PET bottles and bring it to the school. You understand? We as an organization, AC, Africa Cleanup Initiative, will collect from you and will find a recycling firm that will buy it off, and the money will be paid back to the school. Now, this platform model creates an avenue for people to take personal responsibility for their PET bottles. The pure water you take and just discard, there's somebody that is looking for that pure water sachet, wants to buy it.
And has that been working? Because I know some people would rather say, let me just pay and,
Not fine, fantastic. That's why this model actually, now we are focusing on low-income schools. Now, and we have lots of kids that are in schools that can't even pay school fees. From the schools we have visited so far, when we were working with, I'm telling you, you need to see as low as 4,000, 5,000 per term. The parent is still struggling to pay that money. And so when we introduced this recycle space to one of the schools in Ajegule, for example, they felt maybe because initially they felt we were not serious, it will not work. But when they saw that it's something we want to do, you need to see the kind of recycling, the amount, the quantity of recycling they are turning in, because we go there twice in a month to collect this thing. Normally, these recyclables will have just gone to the gutter or littered everywhere, but now they're not keeping it together. That's a way of trying to engage the people. We also run a cleanup activity, the Cleanup Nigeria project as well, where we locate different local governments and we mobilize volunteers within the local government. We partner with the state lawman and Minister of Environment, and we do something for that local government. We did something last month before the election in February, before the election, and that was in Shasha, where we had lots of volunteers came around. Those living in Shasha, so when I call one also, and outside Shasha, those who came and they joined in that cleanup. This is a platform. We create platforms for people. We also have a social media platform where people also share information, thoughts, ideas on what people can do to stay environmentally responsible. All of this boils down to the fact that we as an individual, we need to have what we call the personal social responsibility. Corporate organizations have corporate social responsibility. So you as an individual, what's your personal social responsibility towards the environment?
Okay, you mentioned going to the gutter, and I would ask you, I heard about 40% of our plastic, nylons and other waste goes into the ocean and the fishes get to consume them, and which in turn, if we eat those fishes, it could cause cancer and all of those things.
Like
what are you doing to ensure that our waste, they're not going back to the ocean?
Fine, you're on point. This is one of the essence behind our recycling space, because the PET bottle normally will end up in the ocean when people are not keeping it to themselves. They will give it to us, we'll collect. So it doesn't get into the ocean any longer. That's one. Number two, also work with partners that are focused on the beach cleanup. We have some partners that we work with that they do a lot of beach cleanups. So we partner with them. We ask our volunteers to also partner with them so that they do a lot of cleanup around the beach. You understand? We have a team in Badagry, for example. They do a lot of cleanups around the Badagry, the beach, all of that location. And this is all trying to create an avenue for people to take responsibility for the environment. Also, we also have a platform where we sensitize people. We call it a knowledge-based platform. Last week, we talked about the microplastic pollution, and that's what you're just talking about. The issue of the plastic getting to the beach. It doesn't, most times they get into the ocean, the fish wants to eat them, and it doesn't decay. You just stay there and you end up buying the fish and you see one small tiny particle of plastic inside the belly of the fish. But I know to a large extent, if everyone, the government, the individual, see the need why they should stand up and take a kind of responsibility, start with you and I, not just the government or the nation at large. What are you doing as an individual to ensure that your own immediate environment is always clean at one point? What are you doing to manage the waste? On the average, according to World Bank, I think an individual produced 1.2 kg per day on the average of waste. And Lagos as a state, they produce over 13,000 tons of waste per day. So what are we doing about this waste? Loma cannot do everything now.
Correct. A lot of people drive, and while you're driving, you see that people just throw out bottles and water sachets and all that, out of the window while they're driving, and they throw it on the expressway. We want to look at the issue of education.
Exactly.
Let's educate our people. What is that? What does that mean for that environment when you're driving on the road and you just fling your waste right out of the window? What does it mean for that environment?
I think we need to start looking at how to uncode some kind of thoughts or mindset that some Lagosians have towards the environment. Somebody will tell you after all, there's one mama that is cleaning the express road. So when I throw it out, the mama will clean it and just pick it up. That's a different line of school of thought. Another person will tell you, I beg you, leave me, that one they disturb me. I'm thinking about more important things you're telling me about. At times, I had to stop people that want to throw out their bottle from the vehicle. Put it down. Some conductors, they prefer to send it out than to keep it in the bus. If you remember, there was a time they said every bus in Lagos should have a waste bin.
Yes, a waste bin. And some of them still do have.
Some still do, not even so few. Very few. And even the ones that have you ever seen a PET bottle inside a waste bin?
No, people just drop it there in the bus and then...
And they sweep it out.
And they sweep it out, that's the idea, they sweep it out.
The waste bin is just there for them not to
pay the fine or something. Exactly.
And another form of decoration.
Exactly, another form of beautifying their buses and make it look nice. But then we need to look at it beyond that. And that's what I tell people about the environment. I call it in computer is GEIGO. That's garbage in, garbage out. The same thing applies to the environment. What you put in comes back to meet you. There's nothing like let me just throw it away. Never. That thing you're doing like this is going to come back and haunt you somewhere. I remember when we were small, I was privileged to be born in Ajegule. So I love my ghetto environment so much, you understand? So whenever it rains, they're gonna get so filled up, and what you start seeing is the drainage, everything start pouring into the compound and getting into the houses, and you start seeing people carrying their properties because they don't want to their bed. I'm very sure you have had that experience.
I've only seen some in the news.
So it's that bad, you understand, and that is why now for us sensitization now it starts from the primary school, the secondary school. When you catch the kids young now, because we adults most times as if whether we are forming or we are feeling too big to put a pet bottle in your hand and take it to your house or put the pure water sachet in your bag, you understand. But the kids most times, if they catch the message early, it's easier for us to work with those ones than even the adults. And that's why we've done a lot of programs in schools now. We talk to them about the environment. Even my kids, whenever I'm driving, I tell them, don't send that in. It's consciously, of course, it has formed a part of their system, their mindset.
That you don't just throw things out.
You don't just throw things out now.
Drop it
in the car. You understand?
And when you're done, you sweep together.
Do you know sometimes I keep them in my bags? I don't mind.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I keep this morning when I was coming to work, I actually offloaded my bag and I picked up some nylons.
And I just straight away. So it brings me to asking, enough of tree bottles, nylons. What are we doing about tree planting? There was this time we used to have tree. It helps the ecosystem. It helps our environment. What's happening? We don't see trees anymore. They want to even have. They are bringing them down.
Except in Oregon.
Just very few.
You see something about, let me commend LASPAC to start with, because they are the one in charge of all of that in Lagos State, and they are doing a lot as an organization when it comes to planting of trees in the community. But beyond the LASPAC, as an individual, do you even have space to plant trees? Let's even start from there.
You know I do.
And I know you do, guys. Why I'm even saying that? What I'm saying that is, people are more concerned about building houses at every small available space. They want to put up a shop. Somebody build a mighty house, front of his house is building shops. Wants to make more money. Now, according to World Bank, I like stating fact here. According to World Bank, now the total number of waste that has been generated in a day or in a location is 3 factors are responsible for that. Number 1, the population of that place. Number 2, the income, and the third, urbanization. Now, Lagos State is fast becoming one of the largest, the big urbanized cities. Everybody's coming into Lagos. Everybody wants to make money. Nobody's thinking about nature. Nobody's thinking about the environment. Why can't you build a house and leave a large space? Let there be ventilation. Let's have space to plant trees. But no. I want to build my house. This small half plot. The half plot will take like 10 buildings, and the small space again that should be for, nobody even cares about car park. Let's build one shop there and collect the rent. You understand? So all of that are things we need to actually consider. And I thank God, because this month is the International Mother Earth Day. I love the fact that UN have the way of trying to appreciate or calling us or calling our consciousness into certain of these issues. Now, April 22nd is Mother Earth Day. So we should start thinking, what are we going to do to celebrate? People are saying, let's plant trees. Yes, we want to plant trees. we need a space to plant trees. We will need access to some of these trees. You understand? These are the kind of things we need to start looking
Are there
at.
specific trees that are good for planting?
Just plant any trees you
plant
can
any
find. I'm
tree.
telling you.
Any tree that
You
you
can just
can
plant anything you can find, because to a large extent, the way they disseminate carbon dioxide into the, we take in oxygen and we put that carbon dioxide, but the trees work the other way around. They take in carbon dioxide
and they dispense oxygen. So that's good for us in a way. But let's go back to the issue of nylons and PET bottles.
Okay, good.
Is there a good way, if you don't have a recycling plant around you, or you don't have a recycling station around you, is there a good way to dispose of your PET bottles and pure water sachets?
I think I grew up to start understanding what sorting of waste mean, maybe at over 30-something years of age or something. While we were growing up, all our waste, the PET bottle, the organic waste, the pure water sachet, the carton, everything, we just have one basket.
For everything
Goes in there.
Including food junk still.
Everything go into that one basket. And so when the lawman comes, they're asking, bring your waste out, everybody's carrying that one basket into all of that. So I think it's going to start from the government now, where they now begin to say, okay, whenever we come to collect your waste, we are not going to collect the PET today. And the recyclable ones, we're not going to collect them today. Let's just collect the organic, the solid waste today. Maybe another day we're going to come and collect the PET, the PET bottle, and all of that. That's a way of trying to understand that we need to start sorting our waste from home. That's where I'm going to. Do you have a bag where you put all your PET bottles at home? Or you just combine everything together? Now that the issue of recycling is beginning to be, the awareness is coming up, because we're not yet still there, but it's coming up. Now let's begin to know how to separate our waste from home. Put your PET together in one spot, put your organic waste in one spot, and there's we partner with a lot of recyclers that will be willing to come to your neighborhood and collect your PET, your PET bottles from you and give you an incentive. That's part of the model we're working with. If you don't want to sign up to use it to pay school fees, which is our Recycle Pay program, you can also sign up with recyclers that will partner with as an organization. They will come, they will collect your PET, they will give you a point. Your points will give you access to win an item on their charts. All of this just to encourage you that this your PET bottles, they shouldn't be combined. You should start sorting them from home.
That's to be recycled. All right, and for people who do not even care about all of these gifts, they look too too minute, and too time wasting, and cannot do all of that. Could you take us through a means of packaging this waste in such a way that it wouldn't affect the environment, it wouldn't affect themselves? How do they dispose of? Is there a place they can carry it to and just drop?
I think I had one time that Lagos State is trying to create in every local government a recycling plant? Yeah, a recycling. No, Loma had a recycling bank as far back like 6-7 years ago. If you go to Alaka, you will find one there. They build a nice shelter over it, and you see the bank there, this paper, glass, and all of that. Loma tried doing that, but I think there was they had an issue with all of that. I think one of the issues is how can the project was not properly managed to an extent. Maybe they didn't have people that would take responsibility, because there's one thing about, if you're doing something in the community, I believe to a large extent you need to involve the people living in the community. Because if you want it to be sustainable, then the people need to take ownership. They need to see it as our own, not their own. They are two different mindsets entirely. If it's our own, we want to ensure that it's safe, we take ownership, we take responsibility, and it adds value to the environment.
Right.
If it's their own, I beg, leave out for them.
We don't care.
We don't care about it. So I think that was one of the issues that affected Loma far back then. But I think even the Lagos State government talked about that last year or thereabout, that they want to have the same in different local government, where people can take their recyclables. If you're living in this local government in a particular location, just somebody will always be there to collect it from you. The recyclables from you. Then the other ones, the organic and solid, the Loma will come take all those ones from you. I think that also is something they want to do, but they have not done it yet. But pending when they execute all of that, let's start patronizing these recyclers that come to your neighborhood. They come from time to time. I know very, very few of them. They visit. Harvest Recycling is one of them. I think it works around my 12K2. Just find a way to reach out to them. They will come and pick your PETs from you. And at the end of the day, they will appreciate. If you don't need anything, that's fine. Like now we're trying to do something with the community in Magodo now. Like I was telling my partner the other day, I know Magodo might not care about about your incentives.
Right.
You
Incentives
understand?
as well.
But then I think we're also trying to create a platform for them to see the need, why they should take ownership of the environment and be responsible to the environment as well. So look out for other recyclers. We have Green Hill Recycling, we have Recycle Point, we have Recyclers, we have EcoProom. They are in different communities. Find a way to reach out to them and see how you can sign up so they can be picking your PETs for you.
All right, if you want to join issues with us this morning on the show, we're looking at our environment being a collective responsibility for all. You may want to send us a text message or send us a WhatsApp message at 090 6000 5748. That's 090 6000 5748. That's the number to send your text message and to also send your WhatsApp messages to. For those who have been trying to call the line, please do not call the line. Just send us a text message to contribute to our discussion this morning. All right, with the issue of PET bottles and all that, we have done a lot. Let's look at the issue of burning of waste. Quite a number of people still burn their waste right in the houses. I remember a couple of months ago, the compounds.
Neighboring compounds.
A couple of months ago, we had that issue with Olushosu, that kept burning and burning and burning for so long. I think about 2 or 3 weeks. It was so difficult for all the schools in the environment. They were closing quite early. I think they were closing for 12 o'clock throughout that period for 3 whole weeks, simply because fire just broke out of that dump site and it became an issue for everybody. What is it with burning of waste? Why do people discourage it?
The first question I ask people whenever I hear about burning of waste is, why do they even burn the waste? Why? Because by the time you know the why, you know how to provide a solution to it. Now, I know, I don't want to mention communities here now, but I know communities in Lagos that Loma had not been to before.
Never been to.
Yeah.
Please would like to know some of those communities because they're listening. They must know they need to go to those communities. No,
I can share such information, but like I said, I don't want to mention names here on set, but I have my facts. Now the question is, ask yourself, people living in that kind of community, how do they manage their waste? What do you think would be the option?
Maybe burning.
No, maybe. It's burning now. It's not maybe, it's burning.
No, maybe, because some of them might just, create a minute...
And they'll bury that way.
No, not even bury.
Some people even have a well.
A little dung hill around the environment and, maybe just one plot of land that is lying fallow and they just...
I'm sure that that happens in our
And
environment.
at the end of the day, when the person that owns the one plot of land wants to
do?
And the man burns.
When now burns, yeah.
The man burns.
Yes,
That's what happens.
Yeah, he ends up burning.
We're talking about climate change. This is one of the effects of climate change. The climate is changing as a result of all these burning issues that we're having that is affecting the climate.
Right.
And so I think if we can begin to, another reason why people burn again is because they want to cut costs. They want to pay their bills. They don't want to pay the bills, and so they feel, and let me just be burning. So I'm giving Loma 500 every month or 200 every month. Let me just burn. That's why I think a lot of advocacy and sensitization needs to be carried out. People need to understand that this thing you're doing for the immediate gain has a long-term effect on the environment. And what's about the environment is there's nothing like my own zone is different, your own zone is different. It will affect all of us. And that's why we need to understand that burning is not an option.
Regardless of what it is.
It's not an option. I don't want to plead, it's not an option. If you are meant to pay your dues, please pay your dues. If you don't have access to Loma, please talk to the right people. Let them see how they can get Loma to your community. Loma wants to go. Loma not going there. It's not their will or their choice not to go there. But maybe because they've not had the right information or content how to have access. Because most time that place, their road is always very bad whenever it rains. So that could be another factor why most time they can't go in.
Which now comes back to the government fixing every road, inner roads.
Exactly. If there's an access to that location, they would love to come to such location. So I think if we can have we have in every community, we have the community development associations, the CDA.
Yes.
Fine, good.
Yes.
So now what's their duty? To ensure that our community is safe. It's fine for everyone living in the community. And so if you are looking at the community as an association, you should look at the issue of the environment that affects your community. So what is your plan as a CDA chairman for your community. What are you doing? What are you guys coming up with to say, okay, fine, for us in this community, we've not seen Loma for 1 year. What steps have you taken? Some of them just feel, I don't care. It's not my own, it's the government's response. This way of trying to push away responsibility is not really helping us. We should see our environment as our own. It affects everybody.
It belongs to us.
It belongs to us. Like now we have the 17 SDG goals. Number 6, focus on what? Clean water, healthy environment. And that's, for me, is the important goal out of the whole 17. You can't do business if your environment is smelling. Imagine, yes, smelling. You said something about Olusegun bombs, the burning that happened.
Yes.
Kids were affected. They couldn't stay in school the longer time. I knew friends that stays around that environment. They were complaining bitterly.
The whole of Mangodo, I stayed just at the back.
Yes,
of
they were complaining
the place
bitterly.
Was terrible. Especially when you're passing by, you have to like tile.
You know how you just want to cover up. You see the thing
Even
going up like that, and it's affecting the climate as it's going up. The methane gases are going up, and they're affecting the climate. So all of this thing is something we need to understand from a larger perspective, that every one of us have a part to play when it comes to keeping our environment clean and healthy. It's not for the government alone to do something. What are you doing? Let's start from an individual. What are you doing as a person?
As a person,
To
you
make the
generate
environment
waste.
Yes, how do you maintain, how do you manage your own waste? What are you doing? Let's even start with you. The 1.2 on the average you generate on the daily basis, what do you do with it? How do you manage it? The recyclable you generate from your own house, how do you manage it? Do you even pay your Loma bills, dues? So if we have this level of understanding, sensitization and involvement, I am telling you, the over 22 million people that stays in Lagos currently, on the average, 22 million. So if every one of us were doing something positively, no matter how small, towards ensuring our own immediate environment is clean and safe, I'm telling you, it will go a long way to have a positive impact on the environment.
As we're beginning to custom, another thing people do to dispose of their waste is when they have a well that doesn't work, and again, or doesn't generate water.
Producing water.
And they just turn it into a
You call it a mini dump site.
So you just see that they keep throwing things into it, and keep throwing things into it until the well fills up to the point.
The one that happened.
And it never gets filled up anyway.
No, you
Wait,
don't.
it will get filled up now. It will get
Do
filled up.
you know what I mean by it never gets filled up?
Okay.
It gets filled up, it gets to decompose.
It doesn't.
The pet bottle inside decompose.
No,
The pure water sachets.
In my house,
Maybe the organic water, the solid waste can decompose.
my former house, it didn't.
Some of it
It
will
will not.
decompose.
It got so full that it was actually.
It will point out.
It didn't.
It won't even
It was,
decompose everything.
the shocking part
It's a
was
mixture of
one of my
things.
neighbors was a caterer,
Okay.
and each time she cooks and all that, she just dumps. So food decomposes.
Yes, sure.
But all the bottles and
The
all
PET
that and
bottle,
all
the
that. So
nylon,
people started
the
dumping and
disposable
dumping
pack.
and dumping, and one day I just started perceiving some odor.
Okay, nice perfume.
I started perceiving. So I told my people, don't open this window. So I went outside and I saw that the well was right behind my living room window,
Right.
and I saw it and I said, no.
Wow.
Who has been dumping? So I went around my neighbors and I said, who has been on? They said, there's so person and so. And that was what was discovered. They've been dumping all the. So I've been paying Loma. I've been sending mine out. Someone has been polluting my house with the one. They've not been paying. They've just been dumping.
Right.
And then the thing never decomposed until we left the house. It never decomposed. It was a serious matter. So the woman had to go to this place where they sell chemicals to buy chemicals to throw
spray.
into it so that the thing would decompose. And then it was breeding so big rats. All the rats were so big. They were well fed. They were well fed. They were so big. They were as big as cats.
Wow.
Really
Wow.
big. It was one of the motivations that I had when I was living at place in
Motivation
Obutu.
indeed.
Was the motivation to live that
To live that
environment.
exactly.
So it doesn't decompose. That's just the truth. But people do it. We dig a well, it doesn't work. We turn it into.
Convert it to mini dump site.
Is it a good one?
It's never a good one. When those rat comes into your house now and begin to dance
Eat your
shaku
body,
with you and
eat
eat
your
your food, you know what's going to happen? Lassa fever will set in.
Right.
And that is why you can see all of this issue about the
So
environment.
a degrading environment actually breeds Lassa fever.
Oh, once rat sets in, that's one way of you contacting Lassa fever now.
Wow.
Let's even leave the mosquito bites that will coming up at night to come and visit you as a result
And
of
the
being
malaria
dirty
and all that.
and you catch the malaria. Let's even leave that one. Lassa fever took sets in. you can see that everybody's trying to find a shortcut to disposing their waste, but there's no shortcut. I don't know. You spend more to stay healthy. And if you have not found a way to relocate from the environment now, and the money, and you have,
I've not been living, I think, for like almost 2 years now, a year plus. Yeah, it was really terrible like that.
No, it can be, and that's why we all need to start talking let's be ourselves guardian angel. Somebody is not doing the right thing. Don't say it doesn't concern you. Speak on behalf of somebody, on behalf of the environment, on behalf of the people living. If you have not taken that action to find out what actually was doing all of that, she would have continued and continued and continued.
She would have, because she kept cooking. It was her business. She kept cooking.
And she kept dumping.
But there was nowhere to dump. The thing was filled to the brim, refused to go down. Even after pouring the chemical, what happened was it just went down a little bit, never went down.
I think what people are also saying.
We left the place. I'm not sure about now. We've not been there for almost 2 years. I'm not sure.
I think another part government would have to start looking into. I know they're doing it a lot, especially in Lagos, the aspect of enforcement of some of these action laws or discipline on people that are not actually doing the right thing. If somebody had come to see that lady that was doing all that and find they were fining her or taking her up, she would have stopped. So another person would have
won someone else.
She would have won someone else. I was fined for this.
Yeah, she was fined for that. So we need to start looking at enforcement from the government angle again, and let's see what. I know people will complain and they shout at the government, but then it's our own good. It's our own good now.
And the canals.
Enforcement. I know they used to arrest people who throw things out from the bus. What happened?
I don't think they have stopped. But how many have you seen them? You understand? That's actually the idea that they're supposed to do all of that. But how many have been arrested? You understand? And even if they do, negotiators want to complain and say the government, they've come again, or they've come again, they've come again. But then let us understand that. I think maybe what the government should be more concerned about, enforcement is good as well. Some level of awareness also needs to be carried along, needs to bring into the system as well. Sensitization, advocacy, talking about it all the time, do a lot of, where you have market, like we're planning to do a lot of cleanups around some markets in Lagos this year. We've mapped out some markets, we'll be visiting and doing proper cleanup. And not just a cleanup, we're going to be having a discussion.
Please do my shop is in desperate need for. Yes, my shop market is in desperate need for cleanup.
Okay, I think we didn't capture that, but I think we'll look at it.
No, but orientation, you have to.
Orientation, people, they need to, like Thursdays are actually meant to be their market days for cleanup.
For cleanup.
But if you go there on Thursdays, you might just discover what shop is locked, or somebody does his own cleanup maybe the Wednesday night before going up, and he's not showing up till like 10 o'clock. Most of them use between 7 and 10 as they will that their personal issues at home and do other stuff, and they come up by 10 and open their shop, you understand, and they start their normal business. But I think we need to have a way of engaging every level of stakeholders in the market for this sense. I'm going to be starting it soon. And we have like 6-7 markets cleanup. That's
an interesting one. Would love to join you on that particular venture. As we begin to round up, there's something about canals in Lagos. It has become dump sites for people, and it has affected the environment so much so that if rain starts now, environment gets flooded because the canals have been blocked. You know, the people just threw their dirt into the canal wherever it is. Who should be cleaning these canals?
I think canal cleanup is a major one. That even the states, they have a department. Lagos State have a department in charge of canal cleanups. That's the Ministry of the Environment. Lagos State have a department in charge of all of that. But beyond that, I still also feel that we also need to have another approach when it comes to the way we handle our waste. Somebody told me a story one time in the past. He said where she was staying, whenever it rains, and the landlord we just use an opportunity to bring the waste from his house and come and pour it in the gutter because water is flowing. Thinking that water will just carry it to somewhere. It doesn't even care where is the somewhere. But whenever it's raining, and it's like that whenever it rains in Lagos, it's an opportunity for people to bring out their waste from their home. I've seen it several times.
You know, remember there was a story of a boy who was disappeared during the flooding, and his body was finally found. Some children during the rain, when the rain was really heavy last year, their parents told them to bring out the dirt, and so they went to throw it, and the water took the 2 kids away. They were actually friends. 2 kids. The water actually took them away. The flood took them away. They thought that rain was falling.
It was going,
so
and they think
wanted
they just
to
play along
pour
with
the,
it.
No, they wanted to pour.
Pour it into it.
So
Okay.
somehow they got, the rain took them away. The flood took them away. They later found their bodies.
But I won't go without asking. Ecosystem is everybody's concern. There's this adage that says everyone is falling is everybody's business.
Yes.
It's not just one person's. You see buses, you see trucks, you see even motorcycles, and the rate at which the fumes are coming out, you get worried.
The emission.
The emission, the pollution is really disturbing. And when you are driving behind them, maybe you are not.
I have a coping mechanism.
maybe you are not in the AC, and you have to.
Even
it's
when you're in
difficult.
DC, you've not been on the express before, and you're surrounded by trucks emitting a lot of fumes.
So where
Comes into the car,
do we start
regardless of which.
from sensitizing these people? What
To
has
fix
to be
their
done?
their vehicles and put them in proper order.
Individuals like yourself and myself have little or nothing to do about that. I was telling somebody the other day that if I'm a staff of Federal Road Safety Corporation or whatever, the only offense I'll be catching. Only offense is just and serious. The only offense me I'll be looking out for when those kind of dark, thick, black fumes coming out from your car,
Once I see
polluting the whole environment. If I catch your car, no a beg and I will that's
You not fix it.
No, I won't even write you a ticket for anything. My ticket will just carry.
And the annoying part is, some of these people
in the premises.
I'm telling you, some of these car owners, they know that their cars are bad and they release that large volume of emission. They know, but they just feel that the money they make, the turnover they make, like of these public buses, they are more concerned about all of that. So for them to go and stop by 1-2 hours at the workshop and fix their car, man, they'll be calculating 2 hours here. I might have missed 30 passengers, or might have missed 15 passengers. So they prefer to be on the road with that kind of bad car releases kind of
taking the money out. My children are in school, but it's difficult.
It's so bad.
It's difficult.
No, but really, we need to do something about it. We need to go now. Someone sent a message earlier. I wanted to know if I can gather these plastic bottles. Who can I call? What number can I call? I know you do a clean-up exercise. Even if you can't take the PET bottles, you have people, recyclers around you, you can send the bottles to. So please, can you look into the camera, talk to people about their responsibility and the number to call when they have gathered enough nylons and plastic bottles they would need you to pick up.
Okay, fine. Let me look at it from the two angles. Number one, if you want to partner with us on the Recycle Pay, which allows you to pay the school fees of your kids using the recyclables like the PET bottle, the pure water sachets, you can reach out to us. If you also have the PET bottles at home, you need a recycler to give it to, you want to earn something from it, as small as a generator, as small as items you want to earn with your recyclables, you can also reach out to us based on your location. Now, we are on social media, ACI Nigeria, that's African Cleanup Initiative, ACI Nigeria, ACI Nigeria. Search us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You'll find us. You can like our pages. You can send a message. We're going to respond to you. You want to reach out to us on WhatsApp, a text message or a call, you send a number to 080 333, that's 333 40972. 080 333, that's 333 40972. Send us a text, send us a WhatsApp chat. We're going to reply you. You want to find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media, look out for ACI Nigeria. That's African Cleanup Initiative. Just send us a message. We're going to respond to you and find a way to link you up. We have some recyclers that we work with that covers different locations. So when we find your location, we can connect you to the recycler that will actually work with you to collect the PET from you. Even as at today, we're also picking up from somewhere around Surulere today. We have people that are giving us PET bottles on a regular basis to support this school program that actually focuses on helping kids to stay in school. So if you want to join us, you want to be part of what we do, meet us on social media or send us a WhatsApp chat or a text message 080-333-40972 or ACI Nigeria on social media. Thank you very much.
Mr. Alex Akigbe, thank you so much for coming for the show, and thank you so much for educating us on what we should be doing to take care of our environment.
I appreciate it.
And people, that's going to be it on the Bumper Breakfast this morning. It's our collective responsibility. It belongs to you and I. Take care of it. or whatever you put in it always comes back. So you must take care of your environment, and please take advantage of that particular opportunity. My name is Tommy Siojo. We'll bring you more tomorrow in tomorrow's edition of the Bumper Breakfast. We have so much in store for you this week. Don't miss it, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.